back to Kickin' It with Kruse, guys. Welcome back. Happy hump day. Happy hump day. I am on the seat of my pants today making things happen. So I'm getting dressed, getting around, doing my thing. Happy. Guys, I can't believe that it's already Wednesday. It's already hump day. The days go by so fast sometimes, and I'm like, I don't even know what's happening sometimes. How you guys doing today? You guys doing good? How are you doing great today? Welcome back. Happy to be here. Guys, it's a lot going on today. Of course, I know it's been kind of slow in the chat these days. I pop in here, I pop in there. My schedule's been up and down, but we are figuring it out. One day at a time, and it's always fun to have you here, guys. Welcome back. Nobody's here yet, so that's actually going to help me do these little things, these little tweaks before we actually start, which is always a big thing for me, too. I always want to make sure we're good. My dogs are going crazy today, guys. You know, you guys have dogs? If you guys have dogs, you know what I'm talking about. They're just going crazy today. I'm like, can you guys just, like, not go crazy? I love you, little buddy. Gotta watch out for fleas. I'm sorry about that. You know, that was a crazy thing, guys. Welcome back, guys. I got that switch. That's cool. Got that switch. We're gonna have a guest today. Aaron's gonna be here. I can't wait to see Aaron in a little bit. He's gonna pop in here probably in the next half hour or so, and then we'll discuss a bunch of stuff that's going on. The Pep Star is here with me as always. Welcome back, Pep Star. Woo! Pep Star, how you doing, buddy? You having a good day, huh? You're doing a good day? Mm-hmm.
Are you teasing the Pep Star?
I'm not teasing the Pep Star. Never tease the Pep Star, guys. Never tease the Pep Star. The Pep Star will come after you. That's all I'm saying, guys. Welcome back. Happy to have you guys here. It's quiet right now. Quiet. Super quiet in the chat. Oh, that's okay. That's super okay. That's we're hanging out. We're kicking it. I feel like my voice is already I'm setting some stuff up right now. Looking at a bunch of things that are going on, as always. So, Peppy can't say that. Let's do this. Peppy can say that. Good to see ya. Happy day. Anybody out there right now? Anybody's having a good time? Nobody's here right now. Nobody's here yet. We will have a great time very soon. But yeah, happy to have you guys here. I guess I'll just start. What's overworked and underpaid? Too legit to quit. I'm adding some things in here, guys, very fast before I get going. How's everybody's day going today? Good. Hope you're having a great day. It's freaking Wednesday. We're halfway through the week. Got a lot to happen the rest of the week too, which I can't wait to get into. So here we go. Put that on. I'll make you. Okay, cool. I'm just adding some peppy. A little bit of peppy. Peppy will make it happen. Guys, how you doing today? Nobody's here. It's okay. Usually we have some people pop in, but not right now. That's okay. Not spoiling. Peppy says. Peppy. All right, cool. I'm gonna start right there. That's probably good. All right, cool. All right, everybody. Welcome back. We are live right now, and I'm by myself, which is always fun. Right, Pep Star?
I'm electrifying.
Yeah, you are, buddy. You really much are.
Look at you, a new guy. Awesome.
That's good. You know, Peppy. Hey, what's up?
I'm suspicious of people who don't like dogs.
Me too, man. Totally am.
It's awesome to see the chat so active tonight.
Is the chat that? Are they that chat active? I don't know, Pep Star. We are live one more time. I think this should be going over to the tubes for a test as well. Have to see over there too if that's happening. YouTube. See what's going on over here. I can always go over there too. Oh wow, we got some people watch some stuff. Oh guys. Let's see here if this is actually going here too live. Anybody over there, guys? Is there anybody out there? Yeah, that's going cool. Cool. All right, everybody. Happy to have you back. Happy. Let's do the show. Happy. Joy. Let's go with this, guys. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Cruise Control. That was kind of a crazy little intro thing there, but happy to have you back here. The Pep Star is here as always. What's up, Pep Star?
Holla.
You having a good day, man? You feeling great today, huh?
Too legit to quit.
I believe that, buddy. Happy to have you here, guys. Happy to have you all back. Welcome back one more time. Welcome to Kickin' with Kruse, your one-stop shop for entertainment talk. we're still going. We're going strong. It might be a Wednesday. My voice might be getting a little sore already. That's usually what happens. By the time Friday comes around, I am like, oh man, it is time to rest the voice for a whole weekend and chill out. But we have a lot to do today. So no time to chill out today. We are live on Kickin with Kruse, your one-stop shop for entertainment talk. Look at this. I didn't even button my button today. Didn't even button the button until right now. Look at that. That's where I'm at right now. That's where my head's at. Guys, happy to have you here. It's going to be a fun show. We'll see if that boost happens today. But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't, guys. Welcome back, everybody. Happy to have you here. Guys, let's keep this ship moving. It's fun times. So now, quickly, off the top. Woo, everybody. So, Harry Potter news out there. Harry Potter news. So, this whole thing about Voldemort is crazy to me. So, Matt Smith won't be playing Voldemort in HBO's upcoming reboot. Maybe. I know, the thing is, like, fans will push for things sometimes, and fans will be like, you know, he should be Voldemort. And he looks just like Voldemort. He's a good villain. And when these things happen, like, yeah, they don't always go down. They just don't. But sometimes it actually leads for people to be like, wait a second. Maybe we should cast him. And the studio starts thinking about it, and the studio starts going back and forth, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, they're booked. Doesn't always happen, but it can happen. Now, he was initially talking about this, which I think is always a fun thing when you see actors getting asked these questions, because it's like, you're going to grill them and be like, so, around the internet, people have been talking about you being Voldemort, so how do you feel about that? And they go, let's see, how do I feel about that? And so, when you watch this right now, it's so weird. I should have had GR maybe come on to me today. It's so weird to be by myself again. So weird. We are kicking it, but it's so weird when there's nobody here, and it's just me, and we're hanging out, and that's what it is. This is how it starts. I feel like I'm back in the dark age right now, when we used to have like nobody on cruise control at all. Unapologetically, Vice Lords has lit up the thing. All right. I feel like I'm back in the day. Yeah, well, it's Monday. It's a hump day. Maybe nobody is out there today. It's just quiet. But so Smith was talking about this. So Smith was talking about everything, okay? Everything that he's been going through. And he said that, they're like, you know what? People have been saying online that you should be Voldemort. And he was like, me? I haven't heard this before. What are you talking about? And he was talking about Ralph Fiennes, and he's like, that actor added that. Hypothetically, who knows? But, following the footsteps of the great Ralph Fiennes is a very difficult mantle for someone. So good luck to whoever it is. It ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be me, he says. I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be you. Do we believe that? I mean, it's an actor saying he's not casting something. We don't always believe that, we just don't. We don't always believe that. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I feel like when they say this, I'm like, oh, all right, well, you might be playing this game of like, oh yeah, I'm not cast as that part. And then the next thing you know, they're actually cast as that part. And then you're like, wait a second, was he lying? Well, if he's lying, covering up, or because everybody's kind of coming out and saying they're casting this when they are right now. So I can't imagine, like, if he was cast, he would be lying. It's not like this is the Marvel stuff. They've been releasing names constantly. Then again, would they even have Voldemort in the first season? Would they even have him in the first season? Now, they might have a quick little flashback and do some stuff where they show him. I can't remember from the first book if he was in the first book. I can't remember. It's been so long. If you guys know out there, let me know. I can't remember. I'm not sure. But I hope that people pop in today. Is this going to be like a dead show the whole day? Is it going to be that way? Probably better I'm doing a short show if nobody's here. But yeah, I mean, to me personally, I'm like, I should have had Mike here. Maybe I'll ask GR to pop in for like 20 minutes and see if he wants to come on in here and just talk to me about this stuff, because it's dead. It's dead today. I don't always believe an actor, though, when they say this. So when they say, oh, I'm not going to be there, or I'm going to be cast as that part, it's like, wait and see. Wait and see always, because I'm intrigued by it. I guess I could just like talk to myself. I'll wait till people come in for that news stuff, and then I will cover it. If they don't come in, I'll use the same stuff tomorrow. That's what I'll do. I'll just talk to Aaron, and we'll have a good time, and this will be kind of a wash. I'll cut out the other stuff and just do the interview with Aaron and let it be. Then I'll post it, and we'll go from there. Because if there's nobody in the chat, so what's the point? There's nobody here. Happy to have you guys here if you were here. Always happy to have people when they're here. I don't know if there's a weird algorithm thing with Kickin with Kruse, if we're like sanctioned or if something weird's happening. I don't know. Weird situation, guys. But it seems like it's working fine over here. I want to watch the live stream. I guess I'll do that when nobody's here. I might as well watch this and see how how it does on this computer over here, if it's jittering or doing anything crazy. Or, I'm just trying to figure out if it is getting a little blurred or if it's slowing down or something weird's happening, because again, they were saying that during the whole live stream it was freezing, which I don't know if I've been seeing it freeze like they're saying. It could be the bomb stuff maybe was causing it to freeze. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the normal stuff is fine and the bomb is what makes it freeze. Let me see as I switch angles here if it does freeze. That didn't freeze right there too. I don't see it freezing. I don't know. You have no idea. No idea. Well, this is fun. This makes me go, what am I doing with my life? Maybe I'll call GR, but you want to come in for 20 minutes and hang out with me, kick with Kruse? Maybe I'll ask GR if he wants to pop in. I'm gonna text him and say, "You just want to pop into the show?" I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up, guys. While we're live, while we're kicking it, I'm gonna phone a friend. I'm gonna phone a friend. We are live. Nobody's here. I'm gonna phone a friend, guys. We're phoning a friend. Phoning a friend, because nobody's here. Nobody's here. Oh, can't phone a friend. He's not available. Man, this is the weirdest I've seen this ever. This is, we're live. I can put on some music or something like that, wait for someone to pop in. Okay, one person live. Oh, that's me over here. That's right. Me over here checking this out. I just want to see how it works. If it flows well, I guess it's kind of a test for me too. It's a good test. I'm going to try out some stuff and see what's happening. Because she was saying it was freezing. So I want to see if it freezes or not. Let's go over here and see if that freezes. She said it was freezing a lot. That seemed fine. That seemed fine over there. I don't see anything. I think she's full. I don't know. Anybody out there know? Are we just like by ourselves kicking it? Man, I kind of just want to call it. Like, Aaron, it's not happening. Nobody's here. Can I still hear anything? Let's see if I can hear everything.
Let's do this again another day.
Thanks, Pep Star. Appreciate it. I guess this is just going to be me hanging out. This is fun, right? This is fun. I guess I could work on something. Let's see if anything crazy is happening in the news right now while nobody's here. If anything big happened. Let's see. Pedro Pascal. Is Pedro Pascal doing everything? He's doing everything right now. Karen limited series of a court prime case. Looking for some good stuff here. We'll see, guys. Password renewed. Who cares? Cast in Bad Monkey. That's a good one. John Malkovich has been cast in Bad Monkey. I don't know. I am not feeling this today, guys. Not feeling this today. Okay, well, we're here. We are here. Degrassi, whatever it takes trailer. There's new Degrassi. Oh, alumni talking about it too. Plan to save Hollywood, guys. I want to talk about that too. Guys, welcome back. It's just me hanging out. Apparently, I'm kicking it by myself. Kicking it all day long by myself, so nobody else is appearing here today. So it's just me. So I'm like, I don't know what happened today. Maybe there's something weird with the algorithm. Did I do something? Do people just like, are they over me? No idea. People are busy on a Wednesday. Am I at a weird time? I'm gonna call GR from the other. Ask him if he wants to pop in for, 15 minutes. I'm going to call GR. All right, phoning a friend. Phoning a friend. Phoning a friend. Phoning a friend. Maybe it's a doctor's appointment or something. Oh, he must have a doctor's appointment or something. All right, well, let's talk about something. This is the worst episode I've ever had here. It's kind of hilarious. We're going to have bad episodes. We're going to have good episodes. We're going to have stuff that's great, stuff that's horrible. So I'm live, guys. Live. Happy to have you here. And just quickly off the top, I guess I'll go through these stories because I can go through the stories, which is totally fine. Go through some stories and look at some stuff and talk about it, stuff and things and all that, guys. I'm testing out some of the graphics. Let's see how the hot takes thing does. I mean, while I'm just live and nobody's here, I might as well see if the wheel causes any problems or anything. Let's see if the wheel causes any problems. Does that play fine? Just I kept freezing a lot, so I want to see. All right, that wheel is there. Wheel seems fine. Let me see if I spin the wheel. Does the wheel spin fine? Wheel seems like it's spinning fine over here. Yeah, wheel's spinning fine. Seems fine. Cool. Let me try the hot takes. It's weird. There's like usually people here. There's nobody here. Let me try this. Let me go to me. What's up, everybody? Let's try this. All right, everybody, we're going to try the hot takes out right now, see how that goes, see what happens. Happy to have you here, guys, as always. Hot takes time. That seems like that's fine. Let's make these hot takes happen. And I move over here, and the hot takes keep going. And the graphics seem like they keep moving and rocking and rolling. This is my big test right now. Doing a test to see what happens here. And it seems like it's fine. I don't see any issues at all. Just like it's freezing constantly. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up, Atlanta? I'm testing some stuff out because no one seems to be here today, which is kind of wild. It's a really quiet day over here on TikTok, apparently. I'm just hanging out by myself, Atlanta, so thank you for joining in. Kicking it with Kruse. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Atlanta? Hey. What's up? I started testing the build because, I'm like, there's nobody. It's just dead today, apparently. Like, nobody's here. Very quiet. More viewers can keep it up. Yeah. I was like, it's just nobody's here, Atlanta. How's your Wednesday? You having a good Wednesday so far? I was gonna jump into some stuff, and I'm like, I've been here for about, 20 minutes by myself. So, Kruse, keep at it. They will come. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, trying. I got my buddy Aaron coming on the show. He'll be here at 10. We're gonna talk about his podcast, Scene Change. I was on it, and we're gonna talk about that. And my agent says a boost is supposed to come today, so we'll see. I'm always skeptical if it's actually going to happen. It's already Wednesday, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just crazy what's happening because I'm always skeptical of what's going to happen, how the business is going to change. I got a big thing happening in Atlanta. I'm going to tell you this. So I got a big thing happening right now where it's so the whole SAG thing has been crazy, right? The whole SAG thing has been super nuts. It's getting political more than it is political in its own ways, right? It is political in its own ways. But I'm going to tell you, there's more stuff coming out right now about the guy who's running for national president. What's the election end? The election ends on September 12th. And at that point, it's really, if you ask me at this point, we've been in 2 weeks pretty much where we've been voting, where people had opportunity to vote. It's the whole mail-in thing. And so people still have 2 more weeks pretty much to get it back in the mail and get it back to SAG so they can actually count the votes. But at this point, usually what they say is a lot of votes get counted in that first week or two. And I keep hearing from all the people that have run for these bigger offices. But people are still talking about online about everything. And something came out in the trades. What's up, Kimberly? What's up? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And they're talking about the trades about people's political views. And so stuff is coming up about the guy running for national president. So I'm talking about this, and I'm talking to him about it. And I'm like, I think you need to address this. So we're going to have a big address about it. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to interview this guy. And we're going to put it all on the table. I'm going to have him talk his side of the story. You'll see there's some drama out there. And, and see what he says. I want to call him out and have a conversation and talk to him about all his remarks. Because, the people that have voted for him and the people that, maybe still might vote for him, or maybe the people that are indecisive still. And if he really wants to win this and stand up for all the people, then you need to have an opportunity, I think, to put your side of the story out there. And honestly, I want to talk to everybody. I've been trying to reach out to, there's more people like Atlanta. There's of course, Sean Astin I tried reaching out to. I'm trying to reach out to other people running for different offices to bring them on as well and talk to them. But a lot of them just haven't really been there wanting to talk to me. It's crazy. But also SAG has been trying to stop me from talking to them as well because they say, well, you're on the ballot, but you also are media, but it was never intended for you to interview these candidates because you're technically a candidate as well. And I said, well, is there any guidelines for us? Is there any kind of like rules against that? And they're like, well, it wasn't intended that way. I'm like, well, it might not be intended that way. I'm breaking new barriers right here, but is there any rule? And then person's like radio silence me. And I'm like, really? There is no rule. You just don't want to release the contacts. So it's been a trick thing, but it's really a problem. But I'm working on figuring that out, the transparency, getting all these things out there. Biggest thing is the people need to be able to talk to these people and find out. We need to have debates. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't even know who's in the ticket. They read these little thing on the ballot and they say, oh, this is all I get about this person. I mean, I love to have an actual debate, get in there and see it. And actually see the people that are running, and so they can talk about how they feel, like their viewpoints. And then you're not going to have all the hearsay online too. And they use these Facebook groups all the time. I see it every day. And the Facebook groups sometimes get toxic, sometimes they're good information. It goes back and forth. And I really just want people to have their voice out there, be able to speak to them, be able to hear from them. And if you really want to help the union out, you should be out there talking about your viewpoint and having a debate about it. You know, if there's two different people running, we do it in like the national level. You would think actors would want to do that overall, but actors aren't doing that. So it's a wild thing. But I got 2 more weeks left pretty much. I would say, after next week, I think it's pretty much, whatever happens after that happens after that. Because if you think about it, we have this weekend and then next weekend. And after next weekend, after next weekend, that's really the big time. That's really the big time where if they don't vote by that point, it's done. It's done. But guys, always like, follow, share, helps crack this algorithm. And I'm happy to have you, Atlanta. And Kimberly, thanks for being your kid with Kruse, your one-stop shop for entertainment talk. Let's grow this entertainment nation. Keep it going. And help with these guys up here as well. Help me get those. I'm always trying to get those. I mean, I'm learning about this still. I mean, I've been doing this for like a month, I feel like. Atlanta, I'm still figuring it out. It's like, being a millennial, I guess, it's just holding me back sometimes. Thank you so much, Kimberly and Atlanta. Thank you for the share and the likes. Thank you so much. The likes always go a long way. They go a long way. It's kind of a slow day today. I don't know, like we were saying, Atlanta, it's kind of a slow day. It's been the slowest day this week that I've seen for traction, but it's okay. It's okay. We keep doing it. We keep pushing. We keep going, and we keep moving. And I have, like I said, I have a guest coming on. I can't wait to talk to them. He'll be in here probably in like 15 minutes. We're talking about his podcast, Scene Change. And he also works in the business. I met him on the show Nobody Wants This. He was a camera operator. He's got his own podcast called Scene Change, though, and he's working and growing that up, too, in between camera jobs, too. I'm walking around. I hope I'd hop on. Oh, you're good. That's all good. There we go. You know what I mean? Always happy to have you here, though. Atlanta? Are you going for a walk right now? Awesome. I hope your walk is going well, too. Thanks for kicking in here, too. But you know what? The SAG stuff is going to be a lot. I got a couple more weeks. I'm going to do a special interview on tomorrow. I'm going to have more information about that. Tomorrow's morning show, I'll talk about that as well. And guys, let's just talk about something quickly, just off the top. So one thing going around the trades, going around the business right now, is Matt Smith playing Voldemort. So Matt Smith right now, of course, from House of the Dragon, also, of course, like he's just been playing the villain. I think about Morbius all the time. You guys are those Marvel fans. The Morbius, it's Morbin time. He played the villain over there, doing his big dance number. But Matt Smith is playing a great villain, if you ask me all the time. So people are speculating, will he play the new Voldemort in the new series of Harry Potter? Now, he came forward to talk about this right now. HBO loves him. They do love him. Now, he's kind of denying it right now, but do we actually believe when actors deny things? Because people deny stuff, and then they come in later. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I was under contract, couldn't say that, right? But he came forward, he was actually interviewed, and he said that, Ralph Fiennes was so good. He's like, he was so good, like, it's going to be hard for someone to take over. He's like, hypothetically, who knows if I'll play the part? But following the footsteps of the great Ralph Fiennes is a very difficult mantle for someone to undertake. So good luck to whoever does that. I don't think it ain't going to be me. Ain't gonna be me. And then people laugh and he jokes and he's like doing his little thing. So it's like, will it not? The fans have been going nuts online about it. They want that. I need them to not make this. I know, we were talking about this, Kimberly, before. They're doing it. They're full steam ahead. So much so, Christopher Columbus, who was actually helped to launch that franchise originally, he came forward and he was talking about this. And the pictures of Nick Frost came online as the new Hagrid. And he's like, Why? What's the point? What are we doing this for? And a lot of people are saying the same thing, but of course you have a lot of a lot of these big actors are coming in. As I said before, as they're casting it, developing it, they had like 50,000 kids audition for Hermione, Ron, and Harry Potter, and they brought all them in. And that's a big thing. A big press release has come from there. Then you got, of course, John Lithgow as Dumbledore. For real, why, Kimberly? I know, for real, why? And they just don't care. They're just like, they think this is gonna make a lot of money. They're doing like 7 or 8 seasons. As I've said before, they've canceled pretty much everything else. The Fantastic Beasts. They've also canceled any kind of idea for any other big like spin-off prequels. People were asking for the Half-Blood Prince, not the Half-Blood Prince, the Cursed Child, but they're not gonna do that. They're leaving that in the theater for right now. So we're going to find out where this develops. But Matt Smith's saying no. People are saying maybe Cillian Murphy would play Voldemort. Maybe. I can see it. Cillian Murphy's a great actor. Maybe he could do it. We'll see. Guys, always like, follow, share. Help us crack this algorithm. This is your Entertainment Nation here on TikTok, guys. Kicking it with Kruse. Thanks for being here. But I don't know. We'll see. And I think that actors say they're not going to do a part sometimes, especially when the media is asking for it. So I'm like, maybe just calm down, guys. See what happens. Give it some time. Voldemort's not even really in the first book that much. Really isn't. So maybe they wouldn't even cast him. They didn't do that for the original movies. They had a different actor pretty much. It was like a CG face in the back of his head in the original one. But you'd think that for continuity-wise, they would use the same actor. And it's not that big of a part. So they could announce this later when it gets closer to release date for the first season. Oh, no, not Cillian. I can't even, I don't know. It's hard to envision anybody else after Ralph Fiennes. He was so good. Ralph was the man. And honestly, he didn't want to do it before. He had no idea about Harry Potter. And he said, I remember when he was talking about, he was like that his like niece or nephew was like, you have to do this. I haven't worked in Atlanta before. I have not, no. I've always wanted to, but Atlanta is 76, but never had an opportunity. I have worked on the East Coast before. I've worked like Cape Town. I worked over there, but I have never worked over in Atlanta. There's never been an opportunity. I've had auditions for jobs that shot there, but I've always pretty much been based here. Michigan I've shot to. Every actor, it says that, and Harry Potter says that. You're right, everyone. And I'm going to see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted, but people are thrilled that want him to be he's a good villain. Come on, he's a massive great villain. So I see why people will want that encouragement to coming, but we'll see, guys. We'll see. Also, another thing happening, too, is you guys ready for this? We talked about this the other day. Get ready for some more K-pop Demon Hunter, guys. K-pop Demon Hunter is coming. They're doing a sequel. They're working on it right now. It has been so dominant over there on Netflix. And, of course, the sing-along version came out, and people were loving the sing-along version. So when that came out, people were like, oh, maybe this will made $15 million at the box office. It overpowered Weapons at the box office. So I think that they see the traction here. They're releasing that sing-along version. They just released it over Netflix if you want to have the sing-along version as well. Can you play a villain, Kruse? Yes, I played a villain before, John. I played a villain over on, I've done some short films. I actually did a spin-off of Dexter when I was younger. And I played Harrison, but it was supposed to be about his son Harrison growing up, working back in Miami. And it was great. I had blonde hair. I played villains quite a bit. I actually love playing villains because I'm like, the quintessential nice guy a lot of times in my life. People like want me to be the jokester and all that. I'm like, give me the evil part, right? It's always fun. I think actors love that too. Play the complete opposite of you and just dive into there. It's actually riveting. It's exciting, and it also makes you put a whole different perspective on the acting too. Love Dexter. Are they making another season? Yes, they are in Atlanta. They're making another season of Dexter. More Dexter is coming. Now, the original Sin has been canceled. So if you like the prequel series, they have canceled that. But when it comes to the actual Dexter series, they have renewed that. They're bringing all the writers' rooms in, and they're going to actually start working on season 2 of Resurrection ASAP. So they're going to hopes to have that out as fast as they can to follow up for this. This is done so well over there on Paramount Plus. And of course, the shakeup at Paramount, they've been really trying to focus on what's working right, and they're cutting a bunch of stuff. They want to cut $2 billion from their actual budget. So that's a big amount of money to cut. They're going to lay off, they're saying up to 3,000 people right now per department, or throughout their departments right now at Paramount. So more layoffs are coming, and also more shows to be canceled as well. Now we see Pepe got the baddie vibe. Yep, that's where Pepe got it from. He got all those. Where's Pep Star? Pep Star is here. What's up, Pep Star? He's been hanging out, chilling. Pep Star's always here. What's up, buddy? Good to have you back as always. Let's make this happen, Pepe. Good to see you. Good to see you. How you doing,
I said, are you ready for some breaking news? Here we
Yes,
go.
yes, we are. Yeah, we are, Pep Star. We're always ready for some breaking news. How you feeling today, Pep? You feeling good?
Overworked and underpaid. Y'all know what that's about.
Yeah, Peppy, I know. Yeah, Pep Star's he's always telling him he wants more snickety snacks. He's ready to get out there and conquer the world. He's
Too
feeling
legit to quit.
Yeah, buddy, I know. Always happy to have you here, Pep Star. You guys love Pep Star, right? He comes in, he chills, he hangs out with us every day. Always happy to have him here. You know what, Pep Star? You can keep doing the snickety snacks all day. I'll take care of you. And you always get some hot takes about some stuff, Pep Star. You really do. Hot
Well, I'm
takes.
on fire.
Is there rules for pets and acting? Oh yeah, they have a lot when it comes to pets. It really does, because pets have to be protected. Guys, if you're liking this, always like, follow, share, help us crack this algorithm. Welcome to Kickin with Kruse. Also, these guys up here. But yeah, they have all the rules. They actually have on-set handlers with the pets, which is a big deal, John. They make sure the pets are safe. They don't keep them on set so long. They're always making sure that they're not being mistreated. It's a big deal when it comes to pets on set. And I love that too. Pepe's been on some sets. He hasn't been on any big productions, but the pets have managers. Pets have managers. Pets have agents. It's a wild thing too. Honestly, I've been trying to get Pepe a manager, but you know what? He just kind of like a little grumpy sometimes. And so I think that doesn't do well when he goes into meetings.
I'm ignoring you.
You see what I mean? He gets in there and I'm like, dude, you gotta be calm about this. And he doesn't do it. So anyways, he thinks he's a massive
I'm
celebrity though.
electrified.
Yeah, you are, buddy. You're electrifying. But he just thinks that he's just like dominating the airwaves though too. But yeah, pets have managers, they have agents, kids have managers and agents too. I mean, across the board, everybody has representation, which is why, we have to get jobs, and the jobs are scarce too. Pepe would vote for me. Well, I feel like he would. Would you vote for me, Pep Star?
Holla.
Okay, he said he'd vote for me. I mean, he would vote for me if he could. But I don't know if the Peppies and Sag, the dogs in Sag, I don't know if they can actually vote for me. It's crazy. I've seen like pet wranglers have like tarantulas on set. I've seen how, of course, dogs. I've seen llamas on set, horses on set. Of course, during Westworld, we had horses all the time. Also, they're always wranglers just to make sure they're safe, getting water, staying hydrated, getting food, and taking care of them so the animals are protected, getting shade. Also, so not doing too many takes. They're always thinking about the animals first and taking care of them. We need that, though. Animals deserve that kind of respect just like everybody else, right? And honestly, it's fun. The llama was fun. I was on a show called The Thundermans, and on Thundermans, we had a llama. And it was the weirdest thing. People were taking pictures with the llama. What's up, Butler? How you doing today? Welcome back to Kickin' It with Kruse. The llama was great. I love the llama. It was so. I got some fun pictures of me with the llama, but it was a random scene. I don't know why I can't remember why we had a llama, but pets get better treatment than actors. Well, they get taken care of. They definitely get taken care of, John. And sometimes they do. I mean, nah. We take care of the actors and the pets the same. I wanted to meet Lassie when I was little. I could see that, Atlanta. That'd be cool, right? Atlanta was just definitely like a big star when it comes to the pet world, wasn't it? I mean, I would have loved to have met Lassie, but that's always a different days in Hollywood too. But I got guarantee Atlanta that Lassie probably had a massive trailer, was taken care of, the big star on the door. That probably. I mean, it probably wasn't too crazy. Lassie doesn't want to get a big head, right? No, it's fun. I actually think it's great when we have animals on set. I will tell you this though. I've been on shows where we have like a dog as part of the family, and then all of a sudden they start writing the dog out as time goes by, because it does slow production down quite a bit to have an animal on set, because of course you gotta get them to look up, get the treats, do all that, figure out that they can actually perform, and sometimes they don't want to do anything, and then they'll just be walking around in circles, you know what I mean? And so I was on a show, it was The Secret Life of the American Teenager. When I was over there, we had a dog in the family, and you'd think the dog would be there every time they're in the house, but the dog was almost never there. I came in season 3, and the dog was sporadically there, and then by season 5, I think we saw the dog 1 per season. I wanted to meet Lassie. I remember Marcel. I'm trying to remember Marcel. Oh yeah, Marcel, oh yes, I remember Marcel. Marcel was great. I 100%. So fun. And then it was so sad too when they had to actually get rid of Marcel and they let him go. That was so sad too. At the airport, what a sad moment. I want to meet Garfield. Yeah, Garfield. You mean Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt is Garfield now. Chris Pratt's dominating everything these days, it feels like. And Chris Pratt's doing all the voiceover work. Always busy. I mean, good for him. Good for him. I don't try to hate on anybody, you know. I'm always going to say good for him. But yeah, he's like Garfield. He's also Mario. He's also, I feel like there was another voiceover thing I just saw him doing too. People were joking about that he would be coming in to be like, we were like, oh, it's going to be Zelda. What's he going to be next? Who knows? But I love Chris Pratt though too. Yeah. I think he should have been he shouldn't have been Mario. A lot of people say he shouldn't have been Mario. I'm not trying to hate the player. You know, I think he was, you know, it was fine. I think it's funny they had the original Mario in there, and they had him just kind of pop in for like a one little cameo during like this video game section, and then he was gone. But it was, I love that Mario movie. It made like $1.4 billion, and it's got that sequel coming. It's going to be great, guys. But I'm happy to have on cruise control for the, I should say, Kickin' with Kruse. It's so weird. I'm always trying to figure this out. Atlanta. I'm a Mario. Yeah, I know, right? Happy to have you guys. Please like, follow, share as always. But welcome to Kickin' with Kruse for the very first time. One of the hosts from, of course, Scene Change, guys. We'll be talking about that all day today. Excited to have here, Mr. Aaron Smith. What's up, Aaron? How you doing?
Hi, Brian.
How you been?
I've been good. I've been pretty good. You know, it's been hot. It's been really hot in the valley where I'm at, and I imagine you are enduring the heat with me.
Oh man, it's so hot, and like I actually have to come out to my little studio, turn the AC on for a while, then I come back out here in the morning. I'm like, I have this whole regiment right now, you know, to take care of it.
Yeah, I've turned off all the fans for this interview, so I'm really trying to sweat it out to just be here. So I'm
Don't sweat it out. Put the AC on if you have to. Take care of yourself, man. We're on TikTok, you know. We got probably better sound than a lot of people do. It's okay, you know.
That's great. That's great. Well, you got a nice pop filter there. I appreciate the attention to detail.
Oh, I try. We got a great chat here. Kimberly is here too. Say, why get rid of the accent? I know Kimberly. And then John said Chris is also trying to be a Monopoly guy. We always gotta keep talking to the chat here. But I was talking about Chris Pratt before he came in here, and Chris Pratt's doing all the voiceover work. You know, he's Mario, he's Garfield, and I'm like, he's taking all the work, and they're saying maybe he'll be Monopoly guy first. Who knows?
You know, Parks and Rec really launched him. I mean, he showed what he had on that show, and I think that energy is really great for animation.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you can't hate him on him. You know, he's doing a great job, I think. But I get people Atlanta 76 saying hi to Aaron too.
Hi, Atlanta.
And Death Valley people getting weather of 105. Yeah, it's not 105 here, but I don't want that, right?
No, yeah, that's intense. And you got to be careful. I've been jogging every day, and people are like, don't do it in the middle of the day. So I'm trying to adjust my schedule for that. But it's hard. It's really hard to get out and exercise when it's this hot.
It's a lot, and we're living here in LA, guys, and it's a lot. But I want to talk to you too, because I'm happy you're having here about Scene Change. Guys, if you guys haven't checked out Scene Change, I listened to the episode that we did that came out yesterday that I was on. It really came out great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you're really good at it, man. It's nice to work with somebody with your talent level too. We interview people of all different abilities, basically, because most of them are professionals in film and TV doing something like recording sound or video or whatever it is. But to work with somebody who's skilled in front of the camera is actually a treat for me, because we're used to doing it on set, but for our podcast, it's a little bit more personal, a little more intimate, and we slow it down a little bit. But you were so great and animated and interesting, and it's really fun to work with you, and I'm happy to be here again too. So
I'm happy to have you we're in the vertical format now, which is always fun. And it's a little different than the cruise control show. And I want you to dive into Scene Change and tell everybody about it. I always got to do this. Guys, please like, follow, share, help us crack this algorithm. Give me these little hearts up here too. And before I'm going to talk to the chat, then we'll dive into it. Go for a jog, walk before Kickin' with Kruse. Yeah, go for that jog, go for a walk, Kickin' with Kruse, and have a good day. And thank you again, Kimberly, for the share. But let's talk about Scene Change, because again, I'm so happy you're doing it. I've known Aaron for probably like 2 years now, pretty much, a year and a half. We worked together on set for 2 seasons of a TV series. I don't know if we want to say it out loud, but we worked together for 2 seasons. And we had a great time, and we kind of connected and bonded about like this whole podcast world, of course, working on set, the business. And I was like, can you just come on the show and talk? Because we have such a fun time talking. And then he was telling me about Scene Change, and Scene Change just came back for a second season. They come out on Tuesdays, so you can check out these amazing interviews that him and Danny have together, him and his co-host. They're so much fun, but can you tell the people about what Scene Change is, and also just a little bit about how it started?
Absolutely. Scene Change is a podcast. It started without video, but this season we have it now. But it's a podcast about film and television professionals navigating change. And sometimes that looks like climbing the ladder, going from one position to another position, or taking the skills that you have that you've learned on set and in this industry and applying it to new industries. Some of the interviews are people talking about their gig work, talking about their inventions, things that they've developed, new businesses, entrepreneurship. I'm sorry, that word is really hard. But just taking the skills that they've got and bringing them into new spheres. And what our episode this week is featuring you and talking about your career on set, but then also how that applies to what you do online as well. And I think it's mostly about encouraging and inspiring people to adapt to all of the crazy changes that we're experiencing in every industry. So.
Yeah, it doesn't just happen in film, but it's fun to hear from those people that are, in this ethoverse that are like going through the same thing a lot of people in everyday life is. People sometimes feel like the Hollywood world is so separate and it's so different, and it's such like, oh, these people are not like us at all, but very much so we are. Most people are. We're dealing the same kind of deals you are. And also, as the industry changes, people are adapting constantly. We have to get by, pay our bills, make things happen. We maybe go into a whole new genre we had no idea about. Even when you start this business, you might think you're doing one thing. It's like anything else. All of a sudden, you find something else you have a passion for. It could be like, come start as an actor, you're a producer now, or all of a sudden maybe you're behind the scenes as a grip. I've seen people do that, become grips from actors. It happens all the time. What's the best story you've actually seen on your podcast of like a big scene change?
Ooh, big scene changes. Probably the biggest ones were one of the ones that was kind of most moving for me in the first season. We interviewed two ADs, and you know what that is. It's assistant director, somebody who basically is calling the production. They're coordinating all of the timing of the actors coming and going from the set, as well as all of the things that need to happen for the director so they can make their day. They can get everything they need to do that day. And so we've got two ADs who are discussing their scene change, which ultimately was finding a way to take food that was being wasted from other productions and getting it safely to people who need it. And so it was really moving because it came from a personal place for I think both of them, but specifically one of their stories. And just to take the logistics skill that they had and apply it to something that is really desperately needed right now, which, people are starving, people are hungry all over the world, and there's plenty of resources. So it's really unfortunate that that's happening, but it happens because our priorities are in different places. So it was really nice to hear from them, to hear a tangible way that these two were taking their skills and applying them to something that's really different. They're not in catering. They weren't in the necessarily the restaurant business or anything like that, hospitality, but without recognizing that everything has to have a profit motive, saying, how can we find a way to fill this need and do it from a place where there's excess? Because I think that's what was so exciting for me is finding that there are a lot of things that when we are just focused on one goal, we kind of miss other opportunities to maximize the production that's happening. There's all kinds of waste in every industry. It's just part of the business, the way everything works. We're working really hard towards one goal, but they're byproducts that can potentially be used for other things. So that was a really exciting interview that we did last season. But there's some great ones this season, and I really do want to talk a little bit more about yours, if you don't mind, because you're so humble. But dude, you have an incredible thirst for life and an energy that is actually really unquenchable in a way, and yet your job on set is very disciplined, and you have to be extremely disciplined to do what you do. And I noticed that, and I think a lot of professionals do notice that. But it's great to see you kind of come out of your shell a little bit on these shows, because when we work together, you do have to dial things back and
100%.
be extremely shrewd with the way you communicate and the way that you're connecting with people and sensitive to people and what's necessary. So it's just a really cool episode, because I think we do get to discuss a little bit about the logistics of navigating a scene and how you can manage to achieve the blocking, achieve the vision of a director and an actor, not always while they're there helping us, but we've got all these instructions, and it's like, look, we know what we've got to get to, so let's take the time to get there together. And then when they show up, there will be a plan that can support the freedom of the performance and being able to do different changes once we're there. So it's a really great episode. I really enjoyed talking about that stuff with you, and I think it's also just kind of a incredible skill that hasn't been highlighted enough. Realizing, I think in our conversation, you bring up the fact that a rehearsal actor is probably a better way of describing the job. And it's true, because rehearsing, coming up with a way to replicate something really complicated in a way that you can make changes and you can continue to keep it authentic, is really, really a hard and kind of intangible skill that a lot of people don't necessarily respect about it, but it's super important. And so Danny realized, oh, wow, it'd be great if we had, had somebody to run point in a way and say, this is kind of the standard and this is what everyone should be looking to meet when they're on set.
I love it too, because it was so much fun diving into that, because people don't even know sometimes what a stand-in is, and then like the idea of like actually referring it to as a rehearsal actor, people get on board with that more. They understand it more when you say it to somebody, like someone that's not in the business. You're like, a stand-in, what's that even mean? I'm like, well, I'm rehearsing the scene for the actors. Oh, you're like a rehearsal actor? I mean, it just seems like it's so like easy and it's right there and nobody's been using it. And when we first started talking about, because I'm on the committee for all the rehearsal actors and the stand-ins over in SAG-AFTRA, Peggy, who runs that, and I were talking about it, and she's been pushing that for years. I'm like, this is what we should be calling that. And then as I keep saying, it's like, yeah, we run the scenes, we do the dialogue, we work through everything with camera, we make sure it's all set, and then bam, we come in, the actor jumps in their mark, we're ready to rock and roll, maybe use some slight notes about little props or stuff like that have changed, maybe you gotta dodge this light. Dodge this, and then you're good to go. And it's about being safe, and it's about also capturing that moment in time on screen while we're actually there on set. And that's what I love about it too, because it's like so much magic that comes behind the scenes that people don't know about. And it was fun talking about that with you too. And it was fun like just listening to the conversation back and forth. I hate listening to myself, by the way. So I'm like, oh God, here we go. Brian's listening to himself. I did like your whole scene change thing you did at the beginning. I like that. And then I didn't even realize when I listened to it, I didn't realize you guys had been recording for a while, and there was this whole dialogue that you had before I even came on. I thought that was like so cool to actually see, because like, oh, here we go. I'm like, did they record this before or after? I thought for a second, and then all of a sudden I popped in. I'm like, oh, this is great. This is genius. You had that moment just before I came in. It was fun to hear you two just kind of bouncing back and forth too.
Yeah, well, thank you for that, because we got a little bit of feedback from the first season that we weren't sharing enough of our thoughts and enough of kind of our relationship, me and Danny, and we're like, how are we going to work this in? We got to find a way to actually discuss some of this, but respectfully too. I'm not trying to talk about people without them present, but unless it's trying to support and be positive. But ultimately, I think we found a way to kind of do that without having to do recaps, which is what we did for the first season, and it's working really well. It's a nice opportunity to kind of showcase the things that we really appreciate about the guests that we have on, and then introduce them with a little bit of just a little runway to understand what their position is or what they've done in the past, but also what they're kind of moving towards or the things that they're doing in addition. So. I
love it. It was really fun and riveting. I was like, oh, what's happening here? Info Slave, thank you so much for the love, Info Slave. Appreciate the roses out there. Thank you for the share, guys. Always like, follow, share. Kickin with Kruse, your one-stop shop on entertainment talk on TikTok, guys. Thanks for being here, guys. And we're with Aaron, guys. I'm so happy to have you, Aaron from Scene Change. And we're talking about his podcast. That moment before was great, and we went into the conversation, and it was just a fun time. As I'm listening back at it, Thank you, Alana. It was just a fun time, and it was just a nice, calm, easy conversation about everything. And people just don't understand like the inner workings, what you're going through too. When you're running camera, when you're on set, they don't understand that too. I mean, you could probably tell people about, because Aaron is, of course, has his podcast. He's also, I keep saying, he's gonna be a big DP someday in this town, guys. I keep saying it. I'm gonna keep putting it out there for you. You got to put that on that. It's gonna happen. And like everything you did though, when we were actually working on Nobody Wants This, it was so fun because it was just like, everything you kind of use, you're the vision of the show, man. People don't think about that. It's like through your eyes. And so when I watch that and I see it, I'm like, this is like Aaron's perspective that we're following around, and it's so great. Like you're capturing. Of course, there's a lot of hats in that. A lot of people are talking and you're working through things, but it's like, it's so cool to see your perspective. And I love it so much. I'm only there to help you drive that narrative and help you get that camera angle and get that shot. And a lot of people aren't for that team camaraderie. They come in, they just stand their mark, and they call it a day. I'm like, no, this is about working together to capture this, to find this moment. And we're a team. We're a team.
Absolutely. And, one of the things that I've learned a lot in the years that I've been working is how much the talent, the actors in front of the lens are really giving a lot of communication that obviously the director has an idea, they have a goal in mind, but the actors really do bring kind of mid-take direction, because ultimately we are not just reacting to, but understanding and trying to connect to what the performance is. When you see a rehearsal, it might be tempting to say, oh, that's not going to work for this reason, that reason, whatever it is. But something about asking why the actor made those choices and asking why we would change that. Instead, how do we accommodate it? I think as a camera operator, one of my favorite things to do is to see something that is communication from that performance, and finding a way to accommodate it, finding a way to frame it, or finding a way to have the frame that we're using complement that performance more than capturing it or confining it. And that I use a Steadicam to do that a lot, but a dolly or handheld, there's a lot of different ways to move the camera and try to stay in sync with an actor and be, in a way, finding their performances and what's important about it without hindering it or inhibiting it.
Yeah, because that could easily happen. Some people try to do that too, and it's like, and then the actor comes in, and sometimes it works, and sometimes that doesn't, And
Exactly.
that's why we have the rehearsals, and that's why we have someone there, like again, rehearsal actor, to keep walking through that have studied it, watch that person, and understand how they're going to carry themselves. Also understand like their presence, and also understand when they're going to change things. It's like sometimes you see stuff, you're like, I don't know if they're going to do this. And I've been on sets too where it's like, where I work for some big actors where they're trying to just throw me in and have me do something. I've been working for somebody for a long time. I'm like, they're not going to like this. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to take them out of their character. There's something weird happening. It could be a ground thing. That's a big thing people don't think about too. When you're standing on uneven ground for a long time, and it's like all of a sudden you feel like you're doing this, and then it's like, this is awkward for me. It's going to be, and I've seen actors be like, no, why am I standing like this? Like, what am I doing right now? But that's why it's so important to have somebody there that walks through it and understands how to work with camera. And like you're saying too, you're also just bringing it to life. You're allowing that actor to breathe in that space, and you're capturing it, but you're also just adding to it. You're adding to that performance. You're bringing more to it. You're bringing more of that emotion out. And I just love what you do, Aaron. I do. But I love your podcast so much so, because I'm like, well, before you talked about me on set before, about how I'm kind of subdued a little bit, guys, on set. I don't think you guys can believe that in the chat right now. I'm kind of subdued sometimes.
It is hard to believe, actually. Yeah, you're really good at it, man, and it is a discipline.
I hold it back. It's hard to do sometimes. Trust me. There's a lot of times I just want to go off about things. But nope, calm down, Brian. Crack a joke and keep moving.
Yeah.
But the same way too, like on set, like, seeing you do your thing, like you're in your game the whole time, and then finding out about your podcast too. I get to see so much more of your personality too coming through and shining, and your love for the business and your love for this podcast world. And you are kind of an influencer now too. I know you and Danny were talking about that. You're kind of in that world now too. But I love it because there's so much more heart and soul that comes out of your voice when you're doing these podcasts. Atlanta's asking you too, how long you been in LA? Or how long you been in LA? Yeah.
Let's see, I graduated from
at a camera rental house called Panavision in Woodland Hills, and had incredible mentors, and just a really great place to, in a way, like a second college, get to learn the nuts and bolts of the equipment. And at that time, it was all changing to HD, so it's been an upheaval since then. But what is that? 12 years? No, 20. I don't know, a long time ago.
That's how I feel sometimes.
I don't like counting it anymore. It's like got to the point
after
where
10,
a couple decades, but it's honestly, it's been really great to learn from people who have seen a lot of ups and downs. I have mentors who are kind of like, giving the, are you going to go on a vacation? Because there's not going to be any work. The kind of like subtle, the subtle coaching that you get from a lot of people who've been around before, who are that is really a big part of why we started the podcast. I noticed from some of my early years that the people that I admired the most had sort of a side gig before it was cool. I mean, it was probably 10 years before it was normalized, and they were making professional accessory bags, and they were and these are people in earlier episodes, but they were developing their own tools in order to not only make their jobs easier, but so they had something to do when there wasn't a dense amount of work to do.
Like
and right now, sure. Exactly. And ultimately it's kind of a perspective that I was able to get early on, that if I wasn't able to find something that would sustain my energy and my time, that this might not be enough work for a career. And I didn't get disillusioned by it. Instead, I turned it towards the technical side of working with the equipment that I have. But it ultimately does require quite a bit of additional networks and additional opportunities that you create for yourself. And it's a very difficult industry, because I think a lot of people do find success. They have passion, they're hard workers, and they're smart, and they get success from some type of project or a couple projects. And then all of a sudden, crickets. And it's so hard not to take that personally. It's so hard not to say, "Oh my gosh, what did I do? I had all this success, and now it's gone."
It's gone. It's gone. It happens to a lot of people.
It does. It happens to everybody. That's the problem. Is it's not you. And we've seen this happen with the biggest actors, where it's like, what happened to that person? Did they quit the business? It's like, no, they just are human, and they're going through the same things that we all do, which is the peaks and valleys of any kind of self-motivating industry, where you do have to see yourself a little bit more as an entrepreneur, and see yourself as somebody who, when you're networking, you're not just focused on work. You're developing actual real relationships, but you're also keeping in mind that you don't know where next opportunity can come from. Some of the best opportunities I've had came from people who were in unassuming positions, people who were not necessarily highlighted, not high up on the call sheet, as it were, but are people who were working their butt off to get it done. And I think there are so many cool stories kind of on the ground, where you realize this isn't all I do. I've got this other thing that I do, and that other thing. And those people and stories are the ones who've inspired me to continue in this industry, and given me a lot more than just the job or whatever is happening right now. And you're one of them, man. Just kind of seeing the hard work that you bring on set, and then realizing, of course, he's got so much more going on. It's not just inspiring, but it's really kind of validating to realize, like, okay, yeah, it does take a lot more than what it looks like. It takes more than just this one job that we're all putting as much energy and time, hours into. Constantly. It takes all of the around the clock throughout the year and throughout the decades, the things that you are putting your time towards as well, like your show.
I wish it happened right now. I wish it happened just like that, but it doesn't happen. There's like so many different elements and things you're going through just to figure it out. And like that, like, there's this, I've done other things like producing things. This is like, but then you just keep trying things. You just keep trying things. I like how John said, "Oh, he's smart." And John, thanks for the love too. Appreciate the love. Kruse with a million activities. You know, guys, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Atlanta's asking where we both grew up too. Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of people are like transplants, and some people are live here. Like I came from Michigan. I've been out here for like I'll date myself. Like I was saying, 17 years. It'll be 17 years in September. So we're almost at that point where I packed that car up with my best friend and we drove out here and called it a day. And we're like, here we go. No idea. We'll figure it out. And so we have to do that sometimes. And it is unfortunate that we have to have multiple hats in multiple places just to be able to get by and take care of yourself. But I do believe this town can still grow and thrive and give that opportunity and those jobs for everybody that wants it. I think it's still possible. People say give up on it. I don't think so. More people need to keep moving here and more opportunity will come. We'll make it happen. But Aaron, how about you? Want to tell people about where you're from? A little bit more about your history, your backstory?
Sure, yeah. 17 years professionally. Yeah, that sounds pretty close to what I've experienced as well. And I think, what does that mean? Only a couple strikes, like big deal, right?
Only a couple, right?
I came from Ventura, California, is where I was born and raised, and I studied in Orange County. So I haven't really strayed too far from where I started out. But that's partly why California and Southern California in particular is so close and near and dear to my heart. I really do care about the people here and the unique character of California and what it offers. So I'm ultimately still here because the film and television industry has been known to be here for so long, but it's changing, right? Like I'm not afraid of it. It's actually really exciting to see all around the globe. There's so many opportunities, so many different companies and just production hubs starting to form, because one of the things that is really, I think, part of the problem of losing so much energy in this business is how homogenized it can become. And when we're not focused on expanding what we are doing in storytelling and including more people, it becomes something that is easy. It's just a tower building narrower and narrower, and it's very easy to topple that tower. So ultimately, I think we should be really excited about Atlanta, for example. To me, part of what's great about film is that as Americans, we have some identity in that. Hollywood, ultimately, it came from New York, right? Like Broadway. I mean, you have this culture that
James Cagney days back in the day.
Exactly, and it's way, way broader than just saying movies or whatever. It's
pictures.
Working on TikTok. It's finding social media as an opportunity to not only showcase your products, but be able to even sell them. It's about seeing media in a different way, I think, right now, and to find, for example, again, Atlanta,
big.
A new production hub that is more than just kind of a flash in the pan, a little bit more than just saying, hey, there's some incentives here. Let's move here and do 10 years of production and then leave it a ghost town. It's actually people and the culture, I think, that are really feeding into making that a bigger and more productive place to do entertainment.
Setting up roots.
Exactly. And you have Louisiana, you have Texas, you have Nashville, Tennessee, places that are thriving as, in a way, spokes off of that wheel. And I do think that it is a really, really cool thing. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something to be excited by and inspired by and to invest in.
And it helps more people get opportunities as well. I know there's a lot of people, when I was running on the national ticket, they're like, what are you going to do for, Missouri? What are you going to do for Chicago? What are you going to do? And like, that's the thing. People they want to work. They want to be actors. There's filmmakers across the country that want to produce things, and there's not opportunities every place, but we have to be able to rise it up. And as they build up, it's a good thing. Like, we can branch out. We just got to bring some of that stuff back from overseas. That's what I say too. We're going overseas. We're not allowing that that community to grow here in the United States. And Atlanta's suffering right now too. I know Atlanta 76 out there is saying, yes, come to my city, Atlanta. And he's like, Tyler Perry's studio is unreal. That's a big deal there too. His whole studio is massive. I know he was doing an expansion, but he kind of paused that too. He's really helped Atlanta quite a bit. And I appreciate that he is helping incentivize that. But now the Marvel stuff is left going to the UK, so that's a problem for Atlanta. A lot of people are complaining about that, but I do love those hubs. It is great. I love to go work at Atlanta too. People keep asking me to go. I'm like, I'd love to go. It'd be fun. Guys, always please like, follow, share. Let's crack this algorithm. Give me some hearts, some loves. Share it, guys. Gotta do it all day, every day. Help Kickin with Kruse join this entertainment nation and take over TikTok, guys. We're with Aaron, guys. We're with Aaron from, again, Scene Change, guys. You got that mug. That's awesome. It's like, yep. See, you guys get the merch. Check out Scene.
Mine's a little bit smaller than yours, Brian. You got that big mug, man. I'm jealous.
I got so much coffee in there. I'm like, I need that. It's like almost 2 cups of coffee fit in here. I'm like, that's like 12. That's like 24 ounces almost. I'm like, it's 22.
I need one of those. I really do, because I think I've filled this thing 3 times today already.
As I'm live here, I'm like, I can't walk away. I got to have the biggest mug I can find. So I'm just like, let's go for it. So that's why I had this made. It's fun.
Kicking it with Kruse Camelback.
I do. To be great. Can you imagine? Hey, don't tempt me. I'll figure it out. I'll get in there and I'll find it out. I got people asking for all kind of random merch. I gotta start making like Peppy merchandise. I gotta start making GR merchandise where it says, Dillagaff or something like that on it. I'll find ways to do this. It's not Irish coffee. It is not Irish coffee, regular coffee. And thank you, Atlanta, saying your door's open for me. I appreciate that, guys. So much love in the chat. But I would say this too, like about Scene Change. So it's at Scene Change Pod. So that's where you guys can check it out and find it on social media. I'm sorry, I saw the collaborative thing this morning. I'm like, I missed this, but I did all the stuff today. And then I was listening to it. And I'm like, this is really cool. I'm really excited where you're going. The social media stuff you're doing for it's fun too. I like that graphic you made, the yellow graphic, and me in there. It was really cool. I'm like, oh, here we go. Do you do all that, or is that you and Danny? Like, who's doing the artwork?
Danny takes point on the visual and kind of graphic design element to it all. He's really capable in that area, and he's given me a little bit of training and brought me up to speed so that I can do some of it as well. I do have a background working with editorial products like Final Cut Pro. I came up doing that, and it's not something that I'm too afraid of, but there's so much.
Jack of all trades, you got to be it, right?
You do, but it's also kind of crazy with the way the software changes so rapidly. Like I'm always trying to hold on to things that I know I can be confident with, but learning new ways to do things sometimes are going to streamline it. And ultimately, that's why I'm not that worried about AI. I feel like the automation is something that we do need to engage with more than be afraid of, because turning our backs on new technologies and new products ultimately cut you out of that discussion. It cuts you out of being considered for it. But sometimes an open door is right next to you and you don't realize it, because ultimately feedback and giving positive, constructive feedback can really connect you to the innovators and the people who are doing a lot of the work behind the scenes to make these types of new tools effective and useful for the broader public. So I'm doing my best to, starting with a good attitude about it, recognize that all of these things can make us better. And if I'm only doing something one way over and over and over, I'm going to get frustrated because I don't know the 7 other ways of doing it that people who are creating content on the daily basis are.
Someone comes in and goes, do this, and it's done. You're like, whoa, that took me
exactly.
so much more time. What are you doing to me?
Exactly. So
well, that's like those AI tools too. There's like a million AI tools that I see out there, and they're like, if you know all these tools, and I'm like, no, I do not know all these tools, but they can like streamline your editing, your special effects, your After Effects, also again like your sound mixing. I've seen like you push a button to take all the sound, all the background noise right out. Now the problem is still it causes like a little bit of like graininess of the voice sometimes, so you have to have some of that noise in. But I still like the idea of like using it as a tool, like we're saying, to make our product better and still have someone behind the captain's chair doing that. I think it's worthwhile to have that creative, like, that human behind it doing it. It's just nice to have that creativeness.
Well, I think about it in terms of watching an old movie, because if I see an old movie when I'm not ready for it, maybe it didn't resonate with me. But then I watch it again as an adult, and I'm like, oh, there's so much more here. There's so much more intention and meaning in the product that I couldn't appreciate when I was younger. And ultimately, if you snap your fingers and AI makes a movie for you, is it good? Can you really be a judge of that? Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. And the reality is you can't judge it. Just like when I was younger watching a movie that I couldn't appreciate, I couldn't judge it. I didn't understand what it took to put that in there. I'm going to use a real example because I just saw Jurassic Park again, which is one of my favorite movies. I don't rewatch movies that often, but I've seen that one probably over 10 times, and it's one of my absolute favorite movies. So my wife actually treated me to seeing it at the Hollywood Bowl, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've had in a long time to watch such a fantastic movie. Appreciates the movie with me. But I noticed Oppenheimer, a picture of Oppenheimer. I remember seeing it as a kid, not having any clue who this was, not having any understanding of what that reference could mean and how it relates to, opening a can of worms in a sense that you can't control. But to see it as an adult, I'm like, wow, this is really profound. This is something that was right there, that was literally already in my memory of the movie. And it wasn't until I rewatched it that I was able to gain that perspective. Is AI going to do that? Maybe. Maybe,
but not as good. I don't think so. It's going to take a long time. Not like Spielberg. They got that studio in Texas right now. They're going to make $500,000 AI movies. That's going to start launching in the next few years. So that's all AI. We'll see what that's like. There was one in the UK that came out where it was like these short films, like the first AI series, and it's all AI. They're like, it's 8 minutes long. They got like 5 or 6 episodes coming out. They've been releasing those. But you can still see the AI-ness of it. It still doesn't feel right. The actors don't feel right. The voice doesn't seem right yet. I mean, it's getting better and better and better. But you're not going to have embody what a human being is, I don't think, anytime soon. The chat says Mr. Smith has long hair. Pantene hair ads. Okay. There you go. There you go. That's a scene change for you right there.
There you go.
Have you used I use Premiere as opposed to Final Cut. I use Premiere. I don't know if you're doing editing, if you're doing anything with that too. I did Final Cut before.
Premiere as well. We're using Premiere. I trained on Final Cut, and ultimately Premiere is very similar, so it does remind me of that. But yeah,
it does.
I like Premiere a lot.
They changed Final Cut so much. Like when I was in college, not to date myself, but back in Michigan State when I was in college, it was like 2000 and was it 2003, 2004? I know, we're going back in time now.
Before computers.
Yeah, whoa. But we had Final Cut, and Final Cut was great. It was like Final Cut 7. And I loved Final Cut 7. I held on to that as long as I could because X came out, and it became like, it was supposed to be easier, and they dumbed it down, and then it just doesn't, it's actually made it more complex, if you ask me. So, Lacey, go with Premiere as always. This is what I go with too. And Lacey, good to see you here too. And guys, like, follow, share. Welcome to Kickin with Kruse, your one-stop shop for entertainment talk, guys. Aaron is here. I have to do that. I just do it all the time. I'm getting used to it.
No, I like it.
I'm getting
yeah, man.
I'm getting used to it. But also, like, you have to do some editing. You have to do post work. Of course, you're coming up with the questions too to interview people. I thought that was great. You gave me that when I came onto your podcast. I had a little breakdown of questions you wanted to cover, topics. That's a lot of fun to have that. Who does that? Is that you guys both going back and forth? You're talking about you kind of just share a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. But you guys probably have to have that kind of brainstorm session, right? What we're going to talk about.
Yeah, the first season, Danny and I had a producer, Sarah Galley, help us out. But we developed the workflow that season, and it was great to streamline it in a way that we could kind of share the workload. And ultimately, we needed to use a cloud to do that in order to kind of hand off documents or split the workload. So he does half the episodes, I do half the episodes in terms of the editing, but ultimately we try to find a way to kind of split the amount of guests between people we know and people that we bring on. But it really becomes more about the technical in terms of splitting that workload. We'll say, can you come up with the questions for this guest? I'll come up with the questions for that guest. And then we add to it, we review it. But it does, as you know, it takes a lot of planning and finding ways to automate that are really, really important.
They really are.
If you're working with a team of people, you can do incredible work. You really can. But if you don't have enough work to justify a team, you do have to find ways to, I think, automate a lot more. And so this bridge between the old way of working where you might have 100 people and now you can do the same thing with 5 people, that's just where we're at. And we do lose something. 100 people can do far more than 5. That's just
100%. Oh yeah.
You've got to justify bringing those 95 back into the team through growth and ways to sustain a product on a regular basis, which ultimately is all about demand too. So when we see demand kind of leaving the theaters, leaving the TV networks and going to TikTok, going to YouTube, going to places that were not even really given a lot of credit in the beginning, that isn't necessarily a problem. It's just a demand shift and an attention shift, and ultimately we do need to respect
adapt for it. We have to adapt for it though too, and work it into these contracts and take care of people, so people are getting this is all worked out. I mean, when they made that new media before, it was like, oh, new media, what does that even mean anymore? And now they're still trying to call things new media. I'm like, it's not new media anymore. This is media. This is TV. This is film. And so it's like we had to adapt. We're working on it. This is another whole Wild West thing right here, I would say as well. The whole TikTok universe, and people are doing really well on here. They're making their own shows, doing their own content, and it's making people celebrities too. Like there's people out there that are literally celebrities, and they book people based off how many followers you have and how many subscribers and how much likes you get. It's a wild thing, but I think it's good because again, it is a new generation. We have to adapt. We can figure it out. We can connect with people more than we used to be able to. I love being able to connect to people from across the world. We got Lana here from Atlanta. We got John here from SoCal. He's not that far away. We got people from Scotland that pop in. It's like, it's crazy. I love it though.
I love it too, because I've noticed the same thing with our podcast. There's a lot, obviously the lion's share is coming from California, and we really appreciate everybody listening, but there are people all around the world who are downloading the episodes, and part of that I attribute to the connections that so many of our guests do have around the world. But I think it's also a matter of the way that the things that we're talking about, and certainly the things that you're talking about, they are universal and they apply to people all around the world. So when somebody, regardless of where they are, hears something that resonates with them, that is going to kind of break that border down. And now it's not about where you are and what your specific circumstances are. It's more about relating to each other and connecting in those ways. So it's exciting. It's really exciting to see people all around the country and all around the world who are interested and engaging with the subjects that we're discussing.
The algorithm. I love the algorithm. Like what, right? Where do you find, like, is there a country you're like surprised by the most right now that popped up in your algorithm? Like, oh, this country, there's somebody over here watching it.
I did notice a few more downloads in the UK, and it's really interesting. Being my family's history being from that area, it's like, oh no, I really don't know enough about this island. Like, what's going on? There's so much like rich history that is just, it's easy to forget what you do know, and it's easy to get confused or to just get overwhelmed by it. But history tells us who we are, and it gives us a reference for what we should be looking towards and how to avoid making the same mistakes again. But
you gotta follow history. You have to listen to history. We have to.
Exactly. So
or we're destined to repeat it again.
That. Exactly.
I do love that. We have people like in the UK that I watch, like Cruise Control. The people in Scotland, like I said, there's people in Australia, Canada, India. I'm looking at the algorithm sometimes, like New Zealand. I'm like, it's crazy to me. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. That's like spreading across globally. But that's what's great about this too. It has Scene Change is now out there for a second season. You got 10 episodes coming this season, opening up even globally now, even bigger. You'll be probably getting it. I mean, I'm seeing that already happen with you. 10 episodes. You got how many? So new guest every episode, right?
New guest every episode, and people in all different positions. So it's really interesting because some of our guests are going to be distributing internationally. They're going to be doing things that are already inherently connecting with different cultures and different people. So it makes sense that it would be expanding that way. but it's also great to, I think, see how many people in America are finding that it's not just a Hollywood thing, right? It's not just it's not just kind of connected to one location. It's a lot of these ideas are universal. So.
And I love it because you're going to see like this season. I'm excited for this season because I got to listen to the first one with you and Danny. The one with us was so much fun. Like, it really was a lot of fun. Like, I don't know, like I said before, it's always weird listening to yourself, but I was like, it was really cool, very well put together. And if everybody checks it out, honestly, at Scene Change Pod, you'd be on TikTok before you know, right? You have to do your TikTok thing. Come on, get on here.
You know, you keep pushing it, and I'm definitely, I got to look into it because I got to practice what I preach. Ultimately, there are so many people looking for new ways to consume things, and I think we were pushing the royal we of media was pushing short form since I've been a part of. So trying to find a way to platform short form is really, really tricky, and it has been a hard nut to crack for a very long time. And here we are, TikTok is doing it. So it really is important to recognize, like, when the solution isn't exactly what you wanted, you can't disengage. You do need to engage with it. I'm going to have to take you up on that. I'll probably consult with my co-host, Danny Brown. But
yeah, Danny,
it's really actually exciting to see short form content be able to connect to people. And ultimately, if we find a way to break from the doom scrolling, I think it is a cool way to showcase visual effects. You know, somebody who's an amateur but is doing high level visual effects work in a short form video, that could be a new job for them. And if they're using AI to do it, well, I guess they're already engaging with tools that some people are maybe afraid to, and it could be a career builder. It could be a way to recruit new talent into more traditional forms of media. So I do think that the short form being an asset in that format is really special, and it does solve a lot of long-standing issues that simply film festivals and other ways of showcasing that work can't quite do it. When we show up for something, we want it to be more of an experience, and short form doesn't really offer that. So when you're looking for a break from your hard day or whatever, and you just kind of want to see some funny videos or whatever, that ultimately is a new product, and it's a way to make short form viable, I think, for a business. And
it's giving you that same thing, though. It's giving me that same thing, though, too, where it's like we just want that moment of enjoyment, that distraction, that, step away from everything for a second and just laugh. We all need that little bit of joy. And even like those little clips, you find some fun moments in those conversations you're having, and bam, you put those up there and people love that, and they'll listen to the full form. We've got people walking, like, John was saying he was walking, Alana said he was walking. It's fun to see that people are listening to it that way as they're going about their day as well. And you can connect to people in different universe right here. I love it. The next episode, okay, so drops next Tuesday, right? Who's on the docket for the next episode?
Next episode is Marcus Hubungen, who is a large format photographer and director. And he has a really, really personal and really just raw story about what happened earlier this year with the fires. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's really personal to Southern California. We those of us who've grown up here are really familiar with the Santa Ana winds. It's not a surprise. It's something that is part of the culture here, part of the lore, part of the expectation. And I've seen these winds be destructive before. I've seen them be, they can spread disease, they can spread fires, and definitely make it very difficult for I think the most talented fire departments in the world to really struggle with the logistics of these problems. But what I hadn't seen until this year was the speed. when the winds would be around 40, 50 miles per hour, that was really, really fast. That was really dangerous. Trees would fall down. I remember one year trees falling down in Burbank, and it was pretty scary. And those were about 50 mile an hour winds. And what we saw were like 90 to 100 mile an hour winds.
Man.
So when things are doubled like that, when it's kind of an exponential problem, you can't write it off as something that isn't going to create problems in the future. You have to be realistic about it and start to make plans to understand it and prevent it. And I think a big part of the problem is the abstraction when we're not willing to engage with what's really going on. So it's really important, I think, for the locals and for the people who do understand these environments to speak with honesty and integrity about the changes that they're seeing and be heard, so that we can be really preventative, because once it does start and once it does get out of control, there really isn't anything
It's gone.
water
It's
can
gone.
do. There isn't anything that a hose can do. Fire breaks, I think, are more important. Finding ways to keep power lines underground or keep them from starting the fires is really important, and just being honest about it all. Because creating a news report, making something that's sensational and rage bait isn't going to solve the problem. It might
not gonna do it at all.
views, but it's not going to help people who are losing their livelihoods, losing their homes, losing their peace of mind, and their sense of security and safety in their homes. There were a lot of, I really, just for a second, I want to talk about the fact that there were a lot of people who were very vulnerable, who had been living in their homes for a long, long time, that they weren't necessarily in a position to escape easily. They weren't in a position to fight the fire, get on the roof and fight it themselves, or any of the things that are presented as solutions for this insane problem. Some of them were in their 80s, 90s. I mean, there are people who basically want to stay in their communities and have a right to do so. And they were faced with something absolutely insurmountable, something that was unthinkable maybe just 10 years ago. And I think the only real way to proceed with those problems is with compassion and recognition that we have an aging world. There is a lack of ability to handle these problems if we're not willing to address them logistically and address them as a human problem and not just a local problem, because we're not the only place that gets winds like this with regularity, and we're not the only place that's going to be affected by this type of rapidly spreading fire. So I'm optimistic that some of the best crews in the world who are located in this county and my home county, Ventura County, that they are going to lead the way and show a positive response to some of these absolutely crazy problems. But that's sort of just the tip of the iceberg for what the episode's about, and a way
This would be a great episode.
to deal with these things instead of making them into temporary, I don't know, rage bait. This is the only term I can think of.
I mean, yeah, clickbait, rage bait.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like, it's just that moment of like, oh, let's just yell about this for a while and not actually get anything done.
Exactly.
Happens too much. It happens too much, especially like on the U to the tubes and all that. It's like over there, it's like, oh man, there's always a bunch of rage. There's a lot of, I've noticed one thing I love about this TikTok environment, I find there's so much more love over here
Good.
over on you to the tube. I'm like, I over there, like people are just mad and angry in the comments. And you guys out there in the chat, round of applause for you out there, because you guys are all excited. We're kicking in. It's just been really fun to have this audience grow here too, and have some positivity, because that goes a long way. And we have to talk about these things, be open about it, have that conversation, work towards goals to fix it. And you're right, when we just get mad like, oh, it's this person's fault and that person's fault, we have these fires. It's like, at the end of the day, people lost a lot. People lost a lot. It devastated our town, so much so just to rebuild it all is almost impossible right now. To even fathom that. The ocean was so polluted, they said, do not swim in the ocean for like It was like, I think they finally opened it up just not too long ago. And then even on top of that too, it's like you think about how many people are just like devastated their whole lives. You're like older communities, like what are they supposed to do? Even I saw like that whole like Dick Van Dyke. Even Dick Van Dyke, he was like trawling from his house during the fires, and he got helped by his neighbors, but these people are here and they're helpless, a lot of them. We've gone through a lot of tragedy, so I'm really excited to hear this story. I think that it's a good point to put out there. It's a great point of view to be putting out there, and it's also nice to be spreading some positivity and also address the situation head on. So I'm excited for that. And then so we got that one coming next week, and then we got this episode 3, right? Episode 3.
So we just kept going from the first season in terms of episode count, so I've gotten myself all confused. But we've released technically 3 episodes this season, and so that'll be episode 4 coming out next week. Okay. And we have 10 slated, and I think that ultimately they're going to be there's a lot of variation, a lot of people who are related to camera, because that's what Danny and I both have more experience with than anything. But part of why I wanted to do a podcast is to appreciate this thing. You know, like we are listening half the time, or I guess 50% of the product when it's up on the screen is audio, right? Like we are moved by a beautiful score that is telling us kind of how to feel and what to recognize when we're watching a movie. We're listening to the dialogue at the level that the performer is giving it, instead of, can you shout louder? Like, I want to hear that line. It's about like a sensitivity that I think visuals don't often have the immediate ability to deliver. I'll go back and look at an image and be like, oh, I never saw that before. Like I gave the earlier story about Oppenheimer's picture in Jurassic Park. But it's not necessarily as common, and it's a lot easier, I think, to be sensitive when you're considering sound and what sound professionals bring to the table. And to do it is it's so hard, man. The first thing I did when I was in school is I took the job nobody wanted, which was to be the boom operator. Everybody was super excited about the camera and wanted to be around it. I think they had like 10 ACs or something. It was kind of crazy. But nobody wanted to hold the boom pole and kind of get in there with the other half of it. And I thought that was odd, but then I realized like it really is thankless and in a way that is really frustrating, because it is so important. The sound mixer is doing the back end of that, where they're taking those recordings and they're mixing them live into something that is already going to be usable. And I've heard stories about post just taking the live mix and kind of going, okay, that's good. And it's like, well, yeah, it is good, but it can be better, and we should recognize that it's cutting corners sometimes isn't really helping us, but being able to appreciate all of these different trades is a really important part of how we can make great products and make them quickly and efficiently and for a profit motive, but in a way that's actually sensitive to the careers that people build to support this industry and the growing industries around the world. So. And sound is so important too, and people like, that's crazy. People are like, I don't want the boom, because it's so important. It's like one of the biggest characters, I think, on the screen too. It's like even in the podcast world, I keep saying like I'm doing audio checks and stuff, and everyone's like, GR's like, oh, don't worry about Brian and his audio. I'm like, audio matters the most, GR. Audio matters the most. And he's like, you sound great to me. I'm like, yeah, GR doesn't. Yeah, I'm not. GR gets. He doesn't get it. He tries, but we have a good time. I've listened to your show as a podcast, and it's nice to have that option when you're sending it out to all the different places, because it is something that you can do while you're driving, you can do it while you're running, you can do it while you're focusing on something that might be a little bit monotonous without it, and
it is motivating.
What happened there?
As you're jogging, oh hey, Pep Star. You don't. saying, and you can be, I think I can, I should speak from my own experience, but I feel like I'm able to engage with people in their own paces and be a little bit more patient with the story that's being told if it's in audio format. With video, it's easy to be like, okay, like what's going on? I want to see something now. Move that camera, make it exciting. And you don't want to miss anything, right? Like when you're watching watching a good program, like you're glued to your seat, you're glued to that show, and you don't want to get up and go to the kitchen and get any snacks. You want to stay there. So that's partly why I love going to the theater. Is it's a discipline to be invested in the image, but to listen through a podcast, to actually hear people and let people. Maybe sometimes people struggle to speak. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem. I think sometimes we do need to bring a little bit more to the table because everyone's story does matter. Everyone's story is so important. And a lot of times people who are struggling to speak are working extra hard to communicate. So what they're saying might be more important. For me, it's effortless. You and I can talk all day. We
just keep going. We just keep going and going and going, right?
And we ramble on. But some people who are straining through maybe a raspy voice or something that's like a stutter or any type of common problem that we might not have to struggle with, those stories are sometimes a little bit more curated beforehand and a little bit more deliberate when they're told. So I really appreciate the podcast format for that because it gives a little bit more respect to individuals and their stories.
Well, you and Danny are doing a great job over there on Scene Change, and I can see it. You're touching so many different like ideas and jobs and people's backstories. I love so much to hear about everybody you're bringing on. I'm excited for the season, and I'm going to keep tuning in as well. Scene Change Pod, everybody check it out right now. You can find it, of course, on all your platforms. Yeah, there you go. Look for that logo right there. You can find it, of course, on Apple. You can Spotify. You can find it everywhere, right? I'm loving it. It's such a fun experience being there with you too. Like I said, it's weird to not be the host. I'm like stepping back a little bit. I'm still like trying to get in there way too much sometimes. But
yeah, and check out Brian's episode this week. It's really good. It's really exciting, and he's such a huge part of what we do on set. I'm really excited to feature that because I think it is the job of a rehearsal actor is just so vital, and it's so important. We do need to recognize that, and I think be training for it.
Yeah. And we're going to keep doing it. We got to keep doing it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix that job even more when I win SAG president. Putting it out there, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Aaron. I appreciate you as always. Thanks for being here on Kickin with Kruse. Everybody, the one-stop shop for TikTok entertainment news, guys. I hope you had a great time. Please always like, follow, share, do all those things. Help us every day grow this entertainment nation. I appreciate John out there. I know Orlando's out there, Lacey, Kimberly for being out there. Everybody join the chat. Thank you so much for being here. And again, Aaron, thank you so much for popping on TikTok, man. It's a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Whole different experience over here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome. Your chat's awesome. Everybody's great.
Thank you so much. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one. I will be back tomorrow. This is a cram-packed day. I got a big announcement tomorrow. I'm going to have a big sit-down interview tomorrow with one of the candidates running for LA or National SAG-AFTRA president. We're going to discuss a lot of controversy. We're going to go head-to-head. We're going to discuss it all. We're not going to hold back. Transparency is what he says he wants to bring to the table. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, guys. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Everybody have a great night or a great day. I keep scoring to say. I always want to say night because I do the night stuff all the time. And I'll catch you next time. See you tomorrow morning on Kickin with Kruse. Until then, thanks, Aaron.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya.